Hello everyone, welcome to the ServiceNow Star. My name is Mohammed Rashid Kamal. On today's episode, we are going to do some really important tips and tricks here in Service Catalog. So the agenda for today, I'm going to go ahead and share that in a bit, but primarily we're going to deep and dive some of the Service Catalog, how we can use service catalog and creating a catalog item, and as well as creating a catalog variables. So this is a second episode. On the first episode, we have started or we created a catalog item that is really basic, and we left with some few variables. We're gonna go ahead and see that one and start. So let's give it 30 seconds and then we're gonna go ahead and start. If you are here new to the ServiceNow Star, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can have the latest episodes come straight to your inbox. Like I said, on today's episode, we're gonna go ahead and do some service catalog work. As we all know, service catalog is really important, and especially for our end users to have that beautiful experience in working, beautiful experience in ordering or submitting items from the catalog. So these catalogs are the item that you make them in a given organization, we make them available for our end user. So now we are not yet even started, but let's go ahead and introduce myself here. I'm speaking Mohammed Rashid here, Mohammed Rashid Kamal, ServiceNow developer and data scientist. I have around 5 years of experience in ServiceNow and big data analytics as well. My background is in full stack development, doing some Angular, the front end, the back end part, and SQL, all those good stuff. And I've been here in ServiceNow. I've got a number of certifications, including the Service Portal Micro Certification, Advanced Performance Analytics, and also ITSM, IT Service Management. It's mainly here the ITSM area. I've done a number of projects, built a number of projects like from from the concept until the end portal, until the portal. So, and also I've got project portfolio management certification, what we call it PPM, project portfolio management. Got that and did a number of again projects both on the government area and also in the private sector area. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome again. So we are here today at the ServiceNow Star. Under the ServiceNow Star today, we're gonna go ahead and do some very cool work under the catalog item. As you can see on the catalog on my application navigator, you can see that my history have done number of variables here. Let's go ahead and open our create a user account catalog item. So this catalog item, like I said in my previous episode, I really love to develop something or create something. While I'm developing, I'm always thinking the end user, and I don't want to come back later after I have maybe 40 or 60 or 100 catalog items, variables, and come back and play around with layouts. Where should I put which one? See, all those good stuffs can help you save your time if you be able to put those all up front in your mind while you are developing this catalog item. So as you can see, it didn't even take us an hour to build out this. So in just 40 minutes, we'll be able to build this basic catalog item. It's about requesting a user account. So it has a description here, use this form to request a user account. And we can add as a big description as we want. But here we keep it short and precise, and we put that a yellow highlight behind as a background. And this catalog item as well has a container start. So as you can see, this beautiful beautiful rectangular square, actually it's a square, and has that minus sign. So in order to minimize it, if you like, and you can click the plus sign again here to make it maximize. We are capturing two important informations from the user detail. So it's primarily about the user. We are asking the user to fill up the first name and also last name. On the second container, so as you can see here, the little light arrow, the line is here, the division between the first container and the second container. So we added that, and it's really beautiful. It's not even a break, but it's a container. So we have the container start that has a label on it, and we got to start here a second container that has again a label here, enter the user team and manager. And these are a lookup variables. We call them variables here, but definitely these are the field, and these are a lookup and reference. As you can see, they have a magnifying glass. You can just click this magnifying glass and you will end up with a bunch of team, because it's referencing the team or the group. That's what you call it, the group. So once you go there, you can go ahead and select, and we did also a couple of things, which is only showing active team. You may have a group that may not be active. That way, we don't want our users to come up with a number of groups that are not active. And the second variable here on the second container is selecting the manager, and this is directly referencing the users table. So the user is sys_user table. And now again, we did a couple of things to it to show active users as well. And we're gonna continue with this, creating a third container, and this time we're gonna make some we're gonna add some more container start, container end, and as well as we're gonna go ahead and add some strings. String is these are one of the variable time where you can type, so like description. Okay, perfect. All right, so if you have any questions or comment, feel free, you can drop it to the chat session. I have here fellow developer can see for any comments or suggestion that might come from you guys. But I see a couple of people are watching us right now live. I'm going to continue here, going back to the variable. So one of the tips and trick here I'm going to show you that will help you save your development time or your development effort. So I'm going to go ahead and create a container, and this time the container I will use, it is a container I have entered the user team and manager. So I'm going to use this container and make some adjustment to it, and I'll do insert and stay. Perfect. So let's go ahead and make a right click on top of this container start. All right, I'm trying to make right click. All right, so let's go ahead and configure the variable. So once we are there, definitely we can play around. We can play around and add some more things to it. So just 2 weeks. So we got actually the reference that's about select the appropriate team. We have 60 there. This is 700. And I go ahead and make this one 700. Here instead of reference, I'll make it container start. Container start. As you can see, when you change that one to container start, some of the things will disappear because based on the type of the variable, what is going to be shown from this form is depend on the type. Now I'm going to go ahead and display it here. When I make display title mandatory, when I make the display title checkbox, when I check on it, you can see that the question is going to be mandatory because it need to have the question, so because it need to be displayed, but the name is something that unique. You can write it and to keep whatever you have inside. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Perfect. This is the third container. I'm gonna go ahead and put third container description. So we have got the user's information, the user's team and manager, and the third part is additional note. Additional notes. So it's about additional notes. And by the way, when you insert and stay, those may not gonna be clean for you, so you need to write them again, additional notes. So here, with the name need to be unique. Okay, whatever it is, whether you have a container start or container end, your name need to be unique. And let's go ahead. It is 1 column wise. I'm going to make it 2 column wise because this is a container start. I'll go ahead and insert and stay. All right, insert and stay. So I will go ahead and do the second container, which is container end. And this 700, I'm anticipating I will have 700, 800, and 900. And the last one will be 1000. I'll keep this one 1000, and this is going to be container end as far as I am here. So I like to use as many things as possible. So type, that's a container end. Definitely you can remove. Yeah, some of the things here, by the way. Alright, the container int. Container. This is container int. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and insert and stay. Is 1000. So now we have created our container start and container end. This is for our container end. So now let's go ahead and view what we have, but let's make some change here. First change you want to add here is again single line or multi-line. Okay, this is single line text, or we can use a multi-line. So what makes multi-line text? So what makes again here normal form, ServiceNow form, different from the service catalog item form is that in service catalog, definitely what you have here is not a string field. The field name is called multi-line text or a single line text. That's what you call it, multi-line or single line text. So now that's a multi-line text and I'm call it additional notes. Additional notes. Alright, let's give it a name here. I will create a field called description. Description. Alright, sc underscore description. Alright, that's what I will add here, the question. Annotation, no need. And this is going to be a 50%, the default value. I'm not gonna say anything in here. And this is going to be 800. 800. Let's go ahead and insert and stay. Also, you don't need to write a script. If you would like to make it mandatory, you just need to check box. You need to click the check box right there. And last but not least, I'm going to put 900. And again, it's a multi-line text. That was description. Now I'm going to clean that and say description. And then here, additional note. Additional notes. Additional notes. Additional notes. Type specification is 50%. Alright, let's go ahead and insert and stay. Now we have already created our variable, additional variables. I think we have, so what this telling us here, there is the same name, okay? So look at the question here, it say additional notes. There could be the same thing. Alright, let's go ahead, sc here. And now let's go ahead and try it with again insert and then stay. Okay. We added a few more things to it so to make it differentiate. So the name need to be different. Shouldn't have to be the same name. Now let's go back to our catalog item. That's create a user account. Before we try it, we're gonna make sure that we have all things are aligned. As you can see here, the container start, that's what you call the additional nodes, and second line additional container start additional nodes and description. Alright, let's go ahead and see. Yeah, description, okay. Alright, enter additional notes and description. Like I said, you don't need to waste your time opening here. You can make some tweaks here. Let's say I have made here some error in typing, so I'm gonna correct myself here. And additional notes. That's the container end. Okay, my container end actually I don't need to have that. I need to have that. So container end I can be able to keep, but fine. Now let's go ahead and try and see what it looks like. Awesome. So now we're gonna do some tweaks here again. I'll tell you. Alright, we're gonna make some tweaks and change. So what happened here, so I have first container, second container, and third container. The third container looks good, but the only issue in the third container, As you can see it on the container start, we make it 50%. So we make it a 50%, and within that 50% again, we make the description and the additional note 50%. If you feel this text is good enough, you can keep it. Okay, but if not, for me, I just want to show you how the container work. And what I'm gonna do is now I have to go to back to the catalog item. We're gonna make some change to it. Okay, we'd like to make some change. Now I will show you how that's gonna appear right after we did. So this, the container start, is really a detrimental and really important in showing your container how it looks like. It's already in 50%, and if I divide it into again 50%, right, so I have to make it one column wide. You see the container. So that container, that going to start the container need to be one column width. Within that column width, you can further divide 50-50%. Now let's go ahead and update this. And that little change, that small change will give us, all right, let's see. Yes, that small change doesn't bring anything, but what it bring for us, what it bring is here, the description and the additional note stays below the level over here, below the level, and the additional nodes supposed to go alternate. Now let's go back again. We need to make some tweak here again. Like I said, we don't need to wait until the end of your container. That's your container start. Let's go ahead and open that. The variable, as you can see, we have got 11 variables, and from there, so the container start, we make it one column width. One column width. Okay. Right. Annotation one column width. Update that. Let's go ahead and see how we ended. Right. Container start. Okay. See right there, we have container start. We need to put a container end, okay, container end over here, which is gonna be right after this between 600 and 700. So 650, we're gonna have another container end, 650. All right. So easy way is 650, just change the order here, 650. We already have the name container end. Gonna go ahead and insert and stay. The catalog item is create a user account. Everything looks good. Right. I inserted and I stay there. Let's go ahead, open. As you can see, the variable that we add here, the container end, is just right there. We started another container and has also a container end. Let's open the description. And again, the description, what you need to check here is under the type specification. It is 50%, honored, not honored. All right, let's go ahead and try. So still what we have here is enter additional notes and description. Even if the container end is fully, now it is full, but enter description, and these two are still here on the left side. These additional nodes supposed to go to the other side. All right. Now let's open the multi-line, which is the additional note multi-line text, and see what the type not honored in two column container. Do you know why? Yes, the reason is because we have here a multi-line text. This multi-line text do not support in a two column. So system default, where it is 100%. Let's try that, but it's not support. Now it gets bigger. Okay, let's configure it. So that was the default, the system default, but we're gonna keep it to a 50%. This must be associated with multi-line text is not supported in 50%. Now I'm going to go ahead and here change it from multi-line to single. Alright, single line text and 50%. Let's go ahead and update. Alright, so when it becomes a single line again, it's just gonna be here. Let's make sure we have the container int multi-line. We have the container int, container start, container end. So here, this is the additional nodes, and the type specification is again 50%, but it's not honored in two column. This is not honored in two column. It's telling you exactly that a field like this is not, a variable like this is not honored in two column. Right? So that's what is telling us. Alright, single line text. Okay, it's not honored. That's what it's telling us. I copy it as code. Perfect. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and update. We are back to our catalog item. Now let's go ahead and add some client script. So the next thing is we can go ahead and add some client script so that we can make some of the things are dynamic. All right, let's see here. I'll be right back. Until then, I'm just gonna open this classical focus. We'll come back in a minute. Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for the wait. This is Mohammed Rashid Kamal. We are live from the ServiceNow store here. My name is Mohammed Rashid Kamal again here. We are doing some cool work on the service catalog. As you can see right here, we have built this simple service catalog that helps to collect some information regarding user request, requesting user access or an account. And for that, we have got a couple of containers here. First container is about the user detail. We are collecting the first name and last name. We have a second container that primarily collect the user's team where they're going to join and also its manager. And the last but not least container is primarily about an additional notes and description. So we have written that. We're gonna do some client scripts. All right, so as you can see, this is what it looks like for now. It has the description right there, first container, second container, and the third container. Let's go ahead and all right, configure the description. We want to make it to a from a single to a multi-line text so we can have same features right there, as you can see it, same box size. All right, that's about description, and this is an additional note. The first client script that we're going to write here, when the user get select the theme, we want to automatically populate the manager. So we don't want the user to go ahead and select and add the theme, whatever the theme. But what we need to do, as you can see here, sys_user, as from the sys_user table, where the manager is. But we would like to auto-populate the theme. When I select the given theme, select the appropriate theme. For example, if I go ahead and select data HRT operation team, and this team manager, okay, doesn't have a manager, but we will expect the theme manager to be auto-populated under the manager field. So when we select the theme, we want the manager to be auto-populated. So for that, we need an onChange client script, an onChange client script that can query the database, which is sys_user table. That's where the manager is found. It can auto-populate for us the manager for that user. Okay, for that purpose, now we're gonna go ahead and write a client script. So in this episode, we are on the second part of this episode. As you remember, the first part is primarily working on the UI part. Okay, the UI part, the UI UX part, and we completed that. The containers and all those good stuffs are completed. And now the second thing now here, we're going to work on the client script. So that means we need to automate some of the work so that the user shouldn't have to worry about thinking or remembering what their manager is. As far as they know their team, they need to be good enough to take care, the system need to take care of their manager for them. Perfect. So for that, like I said, we're going to write a client script. That's the best way. When we write our client script, again, we want to make sure that our client script doesn't going to break. What we're going to do, we need to first get the value of this field. Once we get the value of that field, based on that, we're going to query the database using the GlideRecord. And once we go to the GlideRecord, we can find the managers. Okay, by that working, we're going to go to the managers, and we're going to go ahead and auto populate the manager for the user. Awesome. So, like I said, the first thing here is to go ahead and write the script. So it needs to be for select the appropriate team. So that's the field that we're going to see for change. Leave. It's going to be an onChange. Going to be an onChange. So we have two reference. One is select the appropriate team. So the onChange is gonna look the team. Whatever team is going to be selected, based on that, the manager will be auto-populated. So now I'm going to go ahead and find a catalog client script, and this is going to be the first client script that we're going to write. All right, let's go ahead and give it a new. And first thing here is on the catalog client script, we need to give it a name. The name of the catalog client script. Always try to be specific and descriptive as well, what this catalog client scripts is really mean to do. So that's the first thing we need to put right there, the name. So the first thing is the name here, and this catalog client script is primarily to auto-populate. So auto-populate. We're going to auto-populate manager based on team, or group based on group. And here where this is going to apply, it's going to apply on the catalog item. And it's it is active, we keep it active. And here the UI type, you can go ahead and select all, or if it's going to be just desktop or portal, you can select, but the default is a desktop. So we can keep it all. And here, what is a type? So again, we have three types of catalog client script. So in this case, what we're going to write is an onChange catalog client script. As you can see it here. And it's going to apply on the catalog item that we wrote earlier, which is create a user account. And now within that catalog item, we need to specify the variable. So the variable user manager, all right, description is right there. User team manager, user manager, user team manager. So user manager, I'll select appropriate team, user manager and user team manager. So that's the variable we have. It must be the user team, not the manager, but that's the variable we have. Whenever that change, we can go ahead and get the manager for that team that the user is going to join. So first thing is first, here we need to declare a variable that can hold this variable and get the value. So we need to say var. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say team var team equals g underscore form that I'm gonna get the value. Okay, you have the tab where you wanna auto populate. I'll get the value for user underscore manager, and here you can put that asterisk here. Okay, so now if I just say here alert 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 team and put that there, and if I want to go ahead and save, like I said, this is onChange. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Alright, now if I put analytics, we should supposed to see an alert, but let's go ahead and do, alright, let's leave it. So to make sure we are on the correct variable, let's see. So we have got two reference variables. We have got two reference variables. Select appropriate team. That is the reference. And I'm going to go ahead and open that reference field and see select appropriate team. Okay, that's the one. Alright, so the alert doesn't work because we didn't put it on the exact variable that we are looking to change. That's why before I do further work, I need to make sure I am on the correct. Okay, not user. So select appropriate team. That's the one. And now I'm going to get value for what? For select Kali, I have it already here. I'm going to paste it, select the appropriate team, and I alert the team. And now if I try it and I put a team here, like I said, it is onChange, and we have the sysId of that team. Okay, that's the sysId of the team, and the alert is gonna give us. This is a customer service support. Now we got the sysId. I copied it's over here. Now if I go ahead and see the sysId of this manager, I don't see it here. That definitely this is the team. So that on the alert, I'm using alert here to see if I am on the correct variable, and also to see if I am getting the right value, the right I'm expecting. So based on that, I'm gonna go ahead and auto populate the manager. So you see, things will be easier if you do it from the beginning. That means making sure the work you're doing, the code you're doing is on the correct appropriate field. So that's the variable. We have the variable name and we get that value for the variable, and we make alert here to see if we got the appropriate, and we absolutely got the value. Now on the next line, what I'm gonna do, the alert works, I'm just gonna comment that and say here if, okay, if, okay, if what? Team, which is value, I can use 3 equals here. The difference between 3 equals and 2 equals and 1 equals, I'm gonna go ahead and explain that for you guys. If I'm gonna say not equal to empty. If that is not empty, I need to do some work here, okay? I need to do something. Whenever it's empty, it will clean for me. But if team, which is select appropriate, is not empty, I need to GlideRecord the system. First, I'm going to go ahead and create a variable for gr equals new GlideRecord. New GlideRecord, and this GlideRecord is gonna take a string, and now I am going to query the GlideRecord. What am I gonna query is sys underscore user. So this is the table that I'm going to query, and I create a GlideRecord here. All right. Then once I query, I will go ahead, I'll take the GlideRecord, which is the gr, and I will add query. It's right there. I just need to click tab. I'm gonna do things here. So in the once I do that, here on the glide, on that table, which is sys underscore user table, I need definitely look for a match. All right, bear with me. It's going to be so amazing here. So what I'm gonna get here is my query is the sysId, sys underscore id. As you can see, when I get the value for this one, I've got the sysId, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and take that sysId and compare it to, I'll compare it to the team, which is team.manager. Team.manager. So I will put it team.manager, and here, because the field is manager there, and the team, I got the team over there, which is the sysId. That's why I put @query sysId team.manager, and now I'm gonna do gr.query. All right, I'm gonna query the database. Then if you can use a while, but here I'll say if gr.next. It's right there. I'm just gonna click the tab. If I have value gr.next. I'll do a couple of things here. Var sysId, so I need to be capital and D in lowercase. SysId equals because I have the variable right there, sys_id. Here var sysId equals gr dot, I'm gonna get value. I'll get the value, alright, of what? The value of sys underscore id. Sys underscore id. So I'm gonna get the value of sys underscore id, which is this one, because if gr there, I'm gonna add a query sysId team.manager. I'm saying that value with this one, and var sysId equals gr dot, I'll get the value of the sysId. Okay, once I get the value of the sysId, then my next thing is I'm gonna set it. Okay, I got the value. Now I'm gonna set it. To set it, definitely. Alright, so g underscore, it is g underscore form dot set value v. Okay, I'll set the value of this. Now that's the sysId I have. I'll set the value of, okay, the other variable. So now let me go ahead and open a new tab. Okay. Once I open, I need to go to the other catalog, the catalog item that I created, because I need the name of this reference, the manager, because I'm going to set that value with the sysId. It's taking time. Let's be patient. User underscore manager. So set value user underscore manager, comma, with what? With the sysId right there. Sys ID. Okay, because we got the value. Now we're going to do it. Perfecto. Now let's go ahead and select and make some rearrangement, auto arrangement. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Okay. Once we save GlideQuery, I will set that value. Okay. That's for that one. If gr, I set it. Then that's for that one. I'll say else g underscore form dot set value to set value of what? Set value user underscore manager. I can do that, and comma to empty. Alright, but for the time being, let's just keep that empty and make sure we saved it before we try. First time, usually it may not work. We can do some debug. So now, first thing here is I'm going to go ahead and select Portfolio Manager. Now when I have the portfolio manager, the appropriate team need to be auto-populated. Let's see, I don't have manager right there, but we can debug and see. Okay, it's on the group. All right, so what we're doing here is we get in the team, we get value of the appropriate team. If there is a team, it's different from empty, sys underscore user, we got the sysId, which is sys underscore id. All right. This is underscore id, and we have got team, that's the team dot manager. Then if there's query gr.next, we have var sys id gr dot, we're gonna get the value of sys id. All right, then all right, okay. All right, let's see. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and comment this out. Okay, we got that, no problem. gr. Okay, I know the issue. The issue is not about the if, but the callback function. So we need to give it a callback function here in our variable, because we got the value, which is the sysId, but we didn't save that sysId with a callback function. So now we need to make a callback. Okay, we need that callback function here, because where is the value? Okay, nowhere unless we don't have. So this value need to come and saved with a callback. Then here our function actually, before our if statement, let's go ahead and write a function. That's something we miss, is callback. Once we get the callback here inside, we can add the theme. Alright, so this is just awesome. Then we're gonna var gr, which is GlideRecord. We have the GlideRecord of the sys underscore user and team.manager. And we're gonna query if gr.next is gonna get the sysId, and we get the value of the sysId, g underscore form. We're gonna set the value to the user manager by the sysId. Perfect. There's parsing error here. Alright, let's do that. So I think we might need one more. Command all. Perfect. Alright, now let's go ahead and try. And if we try it again, and this time there is some analytics. Alright, we don't have still. Let's go data A. Okay, now let's continue our debug. Let's continue our debug. Sys underscore user. Alright, we have that g underscore form. We got the value. Here we go. So another thing that we miss, we need to get the reference value. What is the field here? The field is a reference, right? So we need to get the reference value instead of just the value. We need to get the reference. Okay, need to get the reference value. Need to be reference, and that's the field, and we store it as a callback. Now if I go ahead and save, interesting. Let's go ahead and select a team, analytics. All right, nothing. Architect. Here we go. Now, when I select an architect, I am getting the manager Rosie Matthew. Rosie Matthew is a manager of an architect team. So if I look at here preview, as you can see, I got the manager Rosie Matthew. That's a resource manager. So we are good. We show you how to debug, like in case if we made some mistake, that's how we be able to debug some of the thing. But if you have a reference field, just like this, the theme, you can go ahead and auto-populate the manager. All right. So we started small and eventually we achieved our goal. Perfect. So now one thing we need to add, as you can see right here, if I clear this value, it's not clearing for me the manager. The manager, now it is empty, but it's not clearing. So that's something we need to do as well. All right, so what I can do to clear that, I'll show you a couple of ways we can clear. But the first way of clearing is once I get the value here, from the variable right there, I'm gonna go ahead and put one closing right there. I'm gonna hold the value right there, and I will say here if team.manager is different from empty, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set the value of user underscore manager with this. But team.manager, basically this team.manager is definitely come from that. And if that's not empty, I need to set it. If it is empty, it will clean up for me. Just that little rearrangement will do the magic. Now let's go back to our create a user account and put that architect here. And we know who the manager for the architect is, Rosie Matthew. Now if I clean architect and just tab outside, it should clean, but it's not. All right, so still it is not cleaning. Perfect. Now I say if team.manager, okay, if team.manager is different from empty, I'm setting the value with this. Maybe the second option we can do is, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this too. I'm just gonna keep it g_4. I'm gonna set the value, but at the beginning I have the variable right there with the callback, and to do this GlideRecord, I can put var Alright, so let's do if because user underscore manager, that's the field we're going to set, right? User underscore manager, but the field is if. Select the appropriate team. Let's go ahead and copy this, put it here, command paste, if this one, comma, if this one, actually, if this one is not empty, if that one is not empty, I set the value, else. Okay, g underscore form dot set, I'll set the value of user underscore manager manager to empty. Alright, now since I have that, let's do that one more. Perfect. Let's go ahead and select all and rearrange. What is this? Move function declaration to the function body root and expect the constant condition. Constant condition. Okay, what I'm saying is if select the appropriate team. Okay, because I already select the appropriate team to the team, right? So what I need to do, I need to delete this and put if team different from empty, because I already say team g underscore gr, I'm getting the reference value for this one. So if that is different from team, I am doing a callback function here, move the function declaration to the function body root, to the function body root. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and again rearrange. And what happened if I save it? Just a little comment, moving the declaration. Let's see if that help. If not, we can come back and correct. All right, let's see. It's not working. Okay. Architect, analytics. All right, we made some mistake. You can check. Now, what I need to do here is I need to move the function declaration. That's something that the error is telling us. Okay. So, right after that, I am saying if that is not, so the function, by the way, I don't need this function callback since I already have that. All right, let's see. Let's clean the function declaration and delete one of the closing. Let's go ahead and do some cleanup. And now let's check again. If that is not empty, we glide querying that table. we get the value. If it is, I'm gonna go ahead and var gr.next. We can go ahead and g_form. We're gonna set the value with this, and once we set that value, else we can go ahead and clear it. Alright, so we have one extra. Perfecto. Let's go ahead and save this and see if that works. Function declaration. Alright. Now we can go ahead and select the team. If I put A here, I have the architect. So there's a little bit of lag. Let's see the architect team. Okay, we don't see that architect. All right. Okay, you see right here, if loading, if new value equals empty. So we need to clean this from the beginning, and we need to set it if new value is loading. Okay, and return. We have the variable right there. We get the reference value. We get the reference value function. Alright, function. Call back in the bracket team.manager, right? Team.manager. Unexpected token. Oh, team.manager, that is correct. Actually, not the team.manager, we have the callback and the team. This need to be like that. Then we've got the variables here, and at the end, so we got that, and here at the bottom, we can say if this one, which is team.manager, if team.manager different from empty, what are we gonna do? We're gonna set the value to this, else we're gonna clean it. Let's check again. If team.manager is not empty, g_form set the value with the sysId, and then else g_form set the value to empty. We need one more. Alright, we need one more. Alright, we need one more. Awesome. As you can see, it is closing for us. But do we have two function declaration? We have the variable. So now I can remove that and the error could go away. Alright, once I remove that, I can remove this closing as well. Save it. So let's go ahead to our variable, to our form catalog item. Then here, what am I gonna do here is the architect team. That's the one. It should auto-populate for us. When I clear the architect and click outside, it should clean for us. Still, we don't have that feature. Let's just look at it button. Set the value user underscore manager to nothing. Alright, let's keep that else. Alright. If team.manager is not empty, team.manager is not empty, g_form. Okay, team.manager. If team is not empty. How about that? If team is not empty instead of team.manager. If team is not empty, because that's what we save the value. Architect, got the value, and now team is empty. All right, it's not cleaning yet. Okay, we still need to try to see. All right, so if team not empty. All right, the other thing we can do in our function declaration, we can set that value at the beginning here, right after var. Now we can just say g_form dot set value, the value of which is user underscore manager to empty from the outset. Let's do that and see. Okay. So my architect is here and the manager is auto-populated. All right, let's go ahead and clean the architect and then it clear for me. So this brings us to the successful completion of the client script. So this client script is primarily taking the user's team, select the appropriate team based on the team that you select. Whatever team you select, it can auto-populate for the user what that manager of that team is. Cloud operation, if it has. But as you can see right here, the eye icon is telling you that it doesn't have a record, no preview. Either this, if I open it here, as you can see, it doesn't have a manager. That's why. So the preview is not available. But it's automatically saving for us. if I clean it, it will definitely clear the value from there. So a good example is the theme called architect, and it will auto populate for us the manager. And if the user clean this, it will clean it up as well. So the next thing what we need to do is we don't want the user to change from one team to the other. Let's say the system auto-populate Rosie, but the user, we don't want them to put a different. For example, here I have AAB. As you can see right here, the system gave us an architect manager, but the users click and put someone else here. They can do, unless we need to put some control over here on this field, on this variable here. So what we need to do once it is filled up, we need to make it read only. So it shouldn't have to be um, like that. So okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make it, we're gonna go to the catalog client script that we are working on. Once we set the value by that, if the theme is not empty, we set the value, and I'm gonna make g underscore form dot set read only. We have that. So the read only, then we're gonna take the user underscore manager, the user manager to true. Okay, gonna make that true for read only. And if I just go ahead and update that, you will see definitely the architect, put the architect right there. Rosie Matthew is auto-populated, and right after it's auto-populated, now it is read only. So no one can be able to make a change to the field over here, to the variable right here, which is select the manager. So it's automatically set by the system, and it's controlled for security reason as well. In case the user want to change the manager or want to change the team that going to join, you can just clean and automatically cleared away. Okay, it's automatically cleared away. Perfect. Now this is catalog client script. We created this catalog item. We put some UX UI on it, making it so beautiful for the user, attractive, and we created some container. We created those variables here. On top of that, we created some variables that are a reference to existing table. And when once upon the user select the team that going to join, here for example an architect, the auto population or automation is possible. So that's all about, that's all we have on this episode. We are a little over an hour and a half. On the next episode, we'll come back and deep and dive to talk about some of the next thing, which is UI policy. We're going to learn about some UI policy, how we can make some of the variables read only or mandatory. All those cool stuffs are on the next episode. I'm gonna go ahead and put this script on the description of this video. That's something you can use it in your work. So that's all we have. Hope you guys get something cool out of this video. Until we see each other, I wish you a great time, and my name is Mohammed Rashid Kamal. Hope to see you soon. Have a great day, everyone. Make sure you subscribe, to our YouTube channel here. If you haven't yet subscribed to the ServiceNow Star, make sure you subscribe. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it the code in the comment. Right, that's too much code. I'm just gonna say thank you for joining us. All right.